Good morning. This is Beaty-Coffey of the Ministry of Uncover No More. You know, life goes on, and I think the greatest tragedy about that is losing the essence of the faithfulness left behind that we need to take with us. And that's the word. Two words are coming back to me in this season of my life. Rudolf Steiner's year-long pontification booklet says it correctly for me that autumn is a time of rest. This morning I began I'm going to set this. I wanted this video to see the bird. Oh, okay. I can rest it. And it still sees a bird. And Cardinal is very strong in my Aries existence as far as for real. At our other house, Cardinals showed up on the property or on my walks a lot, crossing my path. One got in the house, and so that has to do with astrology, I guess, which is a world I'm moving slowly over to, but I'm not. It's not the same aura as runestones in my particularly chosen tarot, which is animal wisdom. At this time, it's animal wisdom and Raven Crow and Phantom Wise. It's Crow Tarot. I say Raven Crow for some reason, and Crow Tarot is the real title, but it's probably because I have a baby puppy, grandbaby puppy that is Raven, named Raven, and so I tend to realize the unity of Raven and Crow in my thought life, my poetic thought life. And Phantom Wise, I haven't been able to work with as much, but hope to, particularly in the fall and winter seasons when things do slow down. But this morning, Tadashi's here with me. This morning, I traveled ahead and was talking to someone who is geographically close here with me. And it was at the time that I am finishing Evangeline, A Tale of a Katie, and I can barely talk because I'm metaphysically in heaven. And if you don't want a spoiler, I would suggest that you close this video. Still stands the forest primeval, but far away from its shadows, side by side in their nameless graves, the lovers are sleeping. Under the humble walls of the little Catholic churchyard, in the heart of the city they lie, unknown and unnoticed. Daily the tides of life go ebbing and flowing beside them, thousands of throbbing hearts where theirs are at rest and forever. Thousands of aching brains where theirs no longer are busy, thousands of toiling hands where theirs have ceased from their labors, thousands of weary feet where theirs have completed their journey. It's not the very end, but it's almost. That is from Evangeline, A Tale of a Katie. It's such a beautiful, beautiful life. And I pause because I've lived and continue to live this life for real. And what I have to say is so many of us do. And that's why I'm saying faithfulness. And the Spirit of Judah is speaking to me this morning. A concentration of faithfulness and solidarity is completing itself in its new beginning in the New Jerusalem. That is not something that I nor anyone can use free will with, but it is something that I can witness and witness and witness and only witness. And you will say that is tunnel vision, and I will say that that is called my determination from a 57-year life. The other thing that I did this morning, as I said at first, was begin the second book of 9 by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. And I haven't even begun to deal with book 1, as in artwork. And I feel overwhelmed. And overwhelmed is a word I'm kicking out of Judah's voice to me this morning in this place. If I feel overwhelmed, I go slower, and I have the ability to do that. And I also have the in real life texts to do that. 2 of them. Indeed, we are choosing a new beginning in Judah. Indeed, I was seen in Austin yesterday for this purpose. Indeed, what my father said and says throughout time, forever, old man Judah, what he is and teaches forever, old man Judah, is relationship. What I have painfully reminded some people who still were fighting for whatever their reasons, verbally, socially, what I have told them over and over and reminded them over and over, and I turn and I can see pictures on my wall of the Mandela that I continue to color. It will happen someday, Kara. That's what I tell myself. So that when I sit here, the weaving of time continues in a beautiful way that is remembered. Because those of us who have the diamond heart, like Alan Walker's music talks about, never forget. I've visited a graveyard where side by side, another kind of love than what Evangeline talks about is very, very clearly written in the ground. I took my children to the holy ground of Garland, Texas. They met my Aunt Leola, who is gone now too. And side by side are my brother, an unmarked grave, just like in this poem, and Uncle Ken. Aunt Leola managed to scrape enough money together to get a plate. And I am the Catholic Church today. I am the Catholic Church today. I said, I am the Catholic Church today, who never forgets the faithfulness, the courage, and the quiet, poetic beauty of reality, of love. The biggest crime of social media is being committed and is told in Evangeline, A Tale of a Katie, which was written, I believe, in the 1800s by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. It's several sections, and I've already released some of that. We are witnesses across the realms eternally. And the woman and men we create in our poetry, there are many of us. There's a multitude of us. We are beautiful. We are we. The women and the men that we create in our poetry are just as real as that social media vitriol that we have to deal with on a daily basis in the Western world, while people are dying outside of our midst, fighting, crying, being killed, the true victims constantly. The multitudes are peacefully lying in our graves. And you can desiccate the places of our beauty, but our bones still lie there, side by side, sometimes in unmarked graves, sometimes in glorious graves, sometimes in honor, the life of simplicity, faithfulness, that the general population knows not of. And I guess my heart cry is for those that are depressed and are feeling meaningless, which I will light a candle and incense, and it will go with this video, for Evangeline and A Tale of a Katie, and for my ongoing work with Elizabeth Barrett Browning's Aurora Lee. Work so immaculate, I don't know how to handle it as a fellow tiny poet whose name is Tara in the spirit, and nobody knew what to do with, and I'm still here. I'm not under the ground. Release of death has not met me. Death is a friend here, and indeed, if you were to go read Evangeline, A Tale of a Katie, you will meet that. I used pink for your mother, and orange, and purple. This is where death is friend and release. But the work of us is to bring the release on the earth. Here is a part of Evangeline, A Tale of a Katie at the end by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and I will stop there. And as she looked around, she saw how death, the consoler, laying his hand upon many a heart, had healed it forever. Many familiar forms had disappeared in the night time. Vacant their places were, or filled already by strangers. We've just experienced this with COVID, and the general population is grieving. Now take a deep breath and rest your spirit in the autumn of 2023. Embrace yourself for 2024. And let us determine, not a fucking New Year's resolution, let us determine to listen to the elders and the eldresses of our past and our present, who say relationship. I go to the property that my dad and his brother built, and we're struggling with reality there. There's a lot of work. It's a money hole. But the people are faithful. And I'm talking about everyone who didn't fuck my family over. I am not talking about those who are greedy, arrogant, and cruel to the core in spirit, because you're the ones that forget Evangeline and her lover, whose name is Gabriel. You forget Gabriel. You forget Evangeline. In Robert Browning's place, Evelyn Hope is who I'm actually going to deal with in art today. You forget us, and we are we. And we understand that you can't help yourself. But you can help the wickedness. You can. This is Beaty-Coffey of the Ministry of Uncovered.